Good evening, race fans, and welcome along to your Thursday night helping of scintillating sim racing. It's back. It's season number 5. After 4 incredibly phenomenal seasons, we are back for more. Thank you, QRT. My name is John Wright, aka Double O Raven. It is my pleasure once again to be bringing you the broadcast. We are starting this evening. It's the Nordschleife. Oh yes, what a calendar we've got and what a lineup we've got in the commentary box once again, because joining me is everyone's favourite Englishman. He's even going to write a dictionary. It is the one and only Flawed Genius Gaming, Mr. Sean Madden. Good evening, Sean.
Good evening, John. Good evening, everyone in the QRT. And yeah, in terms of that dictionary, yeah, the perfect name, the Flawed Dictionary, of course. Yeah, certainly will be full of unofficial names and adjectives and everything else in that dictionary. But really looking forward to this season, though, John. And what a way to start at the Nordschleife, one of the best circuits around. Can't wait for this, John.
It's going to be absolutely incredible. The Nordschleife. Thankfully, Sean has memorised all 186 names. He's even got an interesting fact for every single one of those corners.
Of course, Sean.
Of course. It is going to be similar to the previous seasons here at QRT, season 1 to 4. You know what they say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And that's exactly the ethos that QRT have taken. Nordschleife, Imola, Brands Hatch, Suzuka, Circuit of the Americas and the Red Bull Ring. What a calendar once again. And it's going to be 1 hour races, and as I say, it's going to be myself and Sean. Unbelievably excited to get this one underway. It is an absolute calendar of the gods. Sean, Nordschleife, can't go wrong. And last season, whoo, what an ending we had.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, we well, obviously we know with Konzik, he did bring home the champion status in the pros with Chris Vining getting P2 and Tom Wegman grabbing P3. But interestingly, in the silvers, we had a tie at the top for the champion there, Delazeus and Goldie finishing on the same amount of points. And both of them been promoted to the pro category. There's certainly a whole host of new names and a few surprises in the mix. Also, Basteri and Borovic now being promoted to silver, with Basteri getting the champion for the amateurs and Borovic coming home with the P2. But yeah, there's a whole host of different names in this championship. A lot of names that we're going to have to learn, John. But certainly looking forward to seeing them rise through the challenges of season 5, sorry. Yeah, really looking forward to this. And as people are watching, we are in the qualifying session. There is a 30-minute qualifying session. We have got about 9 minutes remaining ahead of a 1 hour race here at the Nordschleife. So certainly the times are starting to come in, John. And there's a few surprising names at the top of the grid, John.
There is indeed, yeah. We just announced that Arnaud Delazeus was promoted to the pros, and in typical QRT fashion, he's taken that promotion very seriously indeed. Not only that, he is sporting the brand new QRT livery. Oh yes, first time it's been seen on QRT shores. Will it be a maiden pole position around the green hell, as named by my countryman? I wish I had a quarter of his talent. Fortunately, nationality is the only thing I share with Sir Jackie Stewart. Certainly not the driving ability, that's for sure. Arnaud Delazeus, though, I called him Andre there, my apologies, Arnaud. Yeah, up at the top of the table. Damien Konzik in third. We've got Thiago Denart taking second place at the moment. A few yellow flags throughout the track. Quite a few drivers taking part tonight. 41 in total, split between the pros and the AMs. Couple of wild cards featuring this evening as well. You can tell the wild cards this season, their numbers are all beginning with 990, so we've got room for up to 9 wild cards over the season, and they will be number 991 through to 999 for your informational purposes and for ours as well. So it's good to see that we will be able to fully distinguish them this season. But qualifying is going very quickly, and a big spread of times as you would expect. Wasn't quite expecting it to be Scott Ticehurst down at the back of the field. Hasn't set a time as yet for qualifying. The drivers are allowed to do exactly what Ticehurst has done here, and that is drive the GP circuit effectively and then come back on at the pit entrance for the GP circuit to let them get a lap in. They do have to yield to any traffic behind, which is exactly what Ticehurst is going to do momentarily. But with the times on the board, almost 20 seconds separating first and last at the moment, and under normal circumstances that would be a surprisingly large gap. This is the Nordschleife. It is approximately 759,000 miles long. 186 corners for the drivers to navigate between the stadium, GP circuit, and of course the run out into the German countryside. I can say that I have completed exactly 0 laps at this track ever in my sim racing career, because I quite frankly do not have the talent to get to the end in one piece. And I'm not afraid to say that, because this circuit is an absolute test. You either love it or you hate it. It is incredible. It was built, of course, back in 1927, looking to fight back at the little race called Le Mans. I'm not sure if anybody's heard of that. They'll have it every year. But certainly the Germans at the time, Mercedes, were not happy about their performance in that particular competition. The Kaiser himself sanctioned this unbelievable track. Of course, when it started back in the day, 14 miles just for the Nordschleife, with a 17.5 mile combined circuit, because even the GP track looked very looked very different to how it does today. Unsurprisingly, no changes whatsoever to the Nordschleife layout. They've done a wee bit of resurfacing and a few bit of tidying up with the curbs, but certainly it's not the type of track you can easily change. Hopefully the frame rate holds. They've done phenomenal work rendering what's going on around the track. It just does hammer that frame rate ever so slightly. I don't do much driving. My co-commentator extraordinaire absolutely does. Another one of the reasons he is so good in the commentary box. But Sean, this is a track that you have driven. It is like Abs. There is no other track in the world that comes even close to what this course brings to the drivers.
Indeed, John. Yeah, it is unlike any circuit around the globe. Actually, the track length is 15.7 miles. That is 25.3 kilometers per lap. And yeah, it's got literally everything, as you can see with Konzik at the moment, coming down the Dottinger straight, and speeds of up to about 170 miles per hour. And yeah, it's certainly got long straights. It's got 186 corners. I mean, that is absolutely crazy. But there is all types of corners. There's cambered corners, there's sharp corners, and very fast bends. And I mean, it's got it all, John, and certainly a circuit that provides all the challenges for the drivers, and you really have to pay attention to every part of the circuit, because it does have a tendency to catch you out, and it's a long way to the pits if you were to pick up damage. So I absolutely love it, and always keeps me on the edge of the seats when I watch such fine talent on the circuit. And certainly one of the drivers that we just saw there was Callum Scotland. Certainly looking forward to seeing what kind of talent he will display today, John.
Indeed, yeah. The tartan livery on display. Quite a few liveries. We have Mad Chip. Mad Chip, thank you very, very much for the Prime subscription. Here at QRT, it's great to see people supporting organisations that so wholeheartedly support sim racing. So thank you very much for that. Car number 27. Do we have a livery? Where is number 27? There's 7. Oh, there we go. Oh, Mad Chip. That is a livery right there. He's Mad Chipping. And Mad Chip, I want to say thank you very much as well for having the same name in game as you do on Twitch. It does make our lives just that bit easier. But that is a good looking Ferrari.
It is indeed.
Yeah, the way they've pattern matched on the panels. I mean, if you've ever tried to do a livery, you'll appreciate just how good that is. Very, very nice indeed. We've still got cars at qualifying. Liam Wessels is in the wild cards, is the word I was looking for there. But we're starting off the way QRT loves to do it. We've got the splits, which have been expertly put together by Mr. Harry Bellers, who has appeared in the chat. Good evening, Harry. And already Sean, the Silvers doing what Silvers do around here. In the top 10. That's a way to start the season.
Yes, indeed. So Andre Thierry was a wild card last season. To be honest, I was quite surprised to see him into the silver category, because I always felt that he had pro pace there. But certainly one way to prove the doubters wrong is to try to win the championship in your respective category. And he's certainly off to a fantastic start, moving himself into P7 currently overall, as we're looking on board with him now. Can he improve on his current lap time, which is an 8 minute 12, I believe? Sporting that Lexus 12.2, thank you, John. As he comes across the line now, does beat it by 1.2 seconds, moves up into P5, John.
Absolutely love to see it. Not only that, the arms are not being left out with this party either. Vavasori finds himself inside the top 10 and looking to improve on his lap time. I don't think it's quite going to be enough to get Goldie, but I have been very wrong before. So we'll see if he gets on. It is a short formation lap for tonight, so we'll get a quick rundown of the grid. And they do still have plenty of time to qualify, given the length of the lap. Still got 8.5 minutes, so anyone that did start their lap right at the end of qualifying will get to complete that lap. We'll see what Vavasori can do. He's got pole position in the arms at the moment, flying along the start-finish straight. Ho ho ho!
You were saying, John?
Did someone say instant promotion to the pros? I believe they did. He's just gone quicker than Thierry. That is a lap time to put in there.
Yes, indeed, John. Yeah, very, very impressive. And, well, I'm so looking forward to this now, John.
Oh, it gets better every season. And every season is absolutely mind-blowingly incredible. Unsurprisingly, quite a few drivers on very similar times. Pascal Walker only just behind Bjorn Thompson, and Rainier Athenstad of Big Brain Racing. We've seen some more positions change there. Athenstad crossing the line, gets it up to 20th.
Wow, okay. So he's got it all to do then, unfortunately. But it is a long circuit and 1 hour here, of course. So anything can happen at the Green Hell. They don't call it the Green Hell for nothing, that is for sure, John. But yeah, do you know what? I thought the driver we're on board now was Paul Walker. Hopefully he's got the pace of Paul Walker, but actually his name is Pascal Walker, which is a bit of a shame, but still a beautiful name, of course.
Indeed, indeed. And yes, Semper Paratus, always ready, I believe, is the translation there. for the Latin team. As I say, we've got 41 drivers out this evening. Hajo Horman with no time set, neither Scott Ticehurst.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Although we say, wow, anytime we've seen Ticehurst start at the back of the grid, he's ended up on the podium. So he absolutely knows a lot that we here in the commentary box definitely don't. That's why he's in the pros and we're in the commentary box. Tice Payne and Luca Monroe joining this season as well. Good to see the United Sim team. Always an excellent livery. And I'm definitely not biased because that is my favourite football team's colours, tangerine and black, for the mighty Dundee United. I'm on the shed. But yeah, good to see Luca and the team. Mate, I'm not biased, you are. Speaking of non-biased commentary, where's Callum Scotland? Nathan Henderson for QRT. He is going to be the wild cards, and another thing that we've consistently seen here, Sean. Silvers will mix it with the pros, the Arms will mix it with whoever they absolutely feel like, and Vavasori is looking to do a Callum Scotland. But we've always seen one of the wild cards up there on the podium, and Nathan Henderson in the Bentley. Let's go, the bop that's being used on the series, Sean.
Yes, indeed. Well, I don't really know too much about the bop, so clearly they've... well...
It's sourced by Pitskill, yes. And it's working wonders.
Yeah, it does seem to be the case, because I always thought the Bentley was a bit of a boat, but we always knew they had the speed. But certainly Henderson has made it work for him ahead of Konzik. And, I always say, John, if anyone finishes above Konzik, then it must be a superb drive from them. And De La Zeus, what can you say about De La Zeus? De La Zeus promoted from the Silvers up to pole position in your first race for the pro category, certainly proving his worth. And although Konzik, I don't know,
he's quick. Oh, he's going quickly.
Is he going quickly?
Oh, he's going very quickly. Yeah, this is going to be so close. If you want to know just how exciting this season is going to be, wait till you see Konzik's time and how close it is up at the top. Because that's how close the season's going to be. The same time! They've set the same time! How is that even possible? Give me a break, please. They've set exactly the same time. By virtue of De La Zeus setting the time first, he will take pole position in his first race as a pro driver. He has set exactly the same time around the Nordschleife and Grand Prix Arena. That's what, 16 miles? 16 miles of track, Sean, and they've set... Ladies and gentlemen, are you not entertained? And Sean, this is just a marker for the seasons that we've seen in the past and what's to come. The top two drivers, exactly the same time. It does not get any closer.
Crazy, absolutely crazy. Yes, nearly 16 miles, 186 corners, and they get the exact same split. That, I think that's got to be a first, surely, John. That... I don't know what to say.
I think one of the most remarkable qualifying feats I saw was 39 cars within 9/10 of a second around the wet Kyalami, which absolutely blew my tiny little mind. But this is incredible. This should be fun, says Stratos. Yes, indeed. QRT equals the best racing you can get. Correct, Harry. And completely, you are definitely unbiased. But I would agree with that. Stratos saying hello to myself and Sean. We've got Rogues 1 with the follow. Welcome into QRT. What a time you've chosen to join the QRT fold, the drivers. I still can't get my... do not adjust your sets. That is accurate. Exactly the same time set by two drivers. 8 minutes 7 seconds, .015.
Absolutely crazy. You was talking about Kyalami. You could fit, what was it, about 4.5 to 5 Kyalamis, or Kyalami, sorry, at Nürburgring 24 hours. I'm gobsmacked, mate. Honestly, it's phenomenal job by both the drivers, and certainly one that they'll have to record and perhaps take a picture and frame it, I think, John, because it's not every day you see that.
It really, really, really is not. Here comes Pascal Walker. I believe he's going to be the last car to cross the line. And he does see a bit of an improvement as well. Phenomenal stuff. Wow. Here we go, here we go, here we go. So there is a look at the arms. Now remember, the cars 993, 991 and 992 are wild cards. So we will remove them from this little equation of mine. So it is Vavasori getting himself a debut pole position in the arms, followed by Gibson in the Mustang, and then Kia Bazinski in third place, Bornage in fifth position, Walker is a wild. So in 610 a real Westlers is a wild card as well, so it's Perry, then Chip, then Red Eye. In the silvers, Thierry will be up in the pros next season. He'll be joined there by Vavasori, that is for sure. Kutin Gracek with Martins, Papai, Wilson, Thompson, Flint, Matcham in there as well with Just Loon, Borwick. Bell is back again. Sterling and Kranz making a reappearance, so too Basteri, and of course Ben Sullivan in the Aston Martin. And in the pros, De La Zeus and Damien Konzig. And look at that, Konzig with a purple sector in sector 1. And then 2 and 3, very big sectors. The credit goes to De La Zeus, so he's quicker on 2/3 of the course. Konzig is quicker on one section. This is going to be insane. Denart making his debut in the series. Good debut as well. Third place, fourth, Van der Hoek. Goldie in fifth. Callum Scotland saying in the chat he was a second and a half up on his time. That would have taken him up 4 places. So yeah, he will be ruining that game freeze there. Schulberg in 7th place with Wegman down in 8th position. Jongen in 9th, and Hajo Horman rounding out the top 10 for the pros, just ahead of Oliver Juvig. Ranier Athenstad qualifying just outside of the top 10 for the pros. Payne Monroe and Ticehurst with no time set. My mind is still blown, Sean. We've just seen 2 drivers hit exactly the same time. Who wants to make a prediction for how this race is going to turn out?
Not me.
Correct answer, my good man. You are learning well. You are learning well. It does though, Sean. I mean, we genuinely, as commentators, get unbelievably excited when a QRT start a new season. They've got an incredible calendar, incredible drivers, and they're just starting as the mean to go on. I mean, we could wax lyrical about the level of competition here and the level of driving talent just for days on end, literally.
Yeah, and it literally shows you as well, around a circuit like this, you can see a whole mix of times and you know, categories between each other. Of course, yeah, you do expect the pros to be up there, but there's a good mix of amateurs and silvers. A lot of amateurs actually above the silver category, which is something you don't always see. But at Nordschleife, if you do make a mistake, it does come to bite you. And you know, with such a long wait as well to get onto your next lap as well, you really do have to make it count. So really looking forward to this, John. Thank God it is a short formation lap, because we'll be here for the whole entirety of the race on one lap of a formation lap, John.
Indeed, yeah, 8 minutes at full speed. It's yeah, a lot slower on the formation. The drivers furiously trying to warm their tyres up as they cruise along the end of the Dottinger Straight. A couple of cars starting from the pits. The short lap, so we did have a quick look down. The new QRT livery looking absolutely stunning. There was a sneak preview, of course, at the weekend, but here we are at the business end. QRT success for Mike van der Hoek. Brogan is in the chat. Same time round Nord's impressive. It really is absolutely incredible. Let's jump on to Helicam. The tight, twisty track is away. The green light is gone, the foot down, and it's flying into turn number 1, and it's Henderson fending off the Narte already. Vavasori getting close in the legs. And he's moved over. He's gone full defensive on the way in there as Damien Konzig. Oh no, he's not. Damien Konzig's taking the lead. What on earth am I talking about? I barely realised Konzig is taking the lead. What a start he's got. De La Zeus has been absolutely bogged down. Oh, big yellow flag. Let me see if I can catch that. Christophe Papai has made it through. The 318 car has made it through as well. So too is Athenstad. We do have a bit of an accident there, but I barely noticed that there. My apologies. Let's have another look at that start. And we've gone too far. I've not gone far enough back. But yeah, it's Konzig is taking the lead. Nathan Henderson's in second. De La Zeus is in third. That was not a good Mercedes lead. The rest of the field got bunched up behind there. Denart and Andre Thierry found himself separated by not much more than a piece of paper. And it is the Mustang that's got out in front, down at the back of the field. Let's just see where Ticehurst has got himself. Tenerio and Leo Wessels with a decent start. Ben Sullivan is still off and running as well. Tice Payne still in the pits. Tenerio is showing is in the pits as well, so the telemetry is really struggling to keep up. Scott Ticehurst, the man in the know, he's up 14 positions. Oh yeah, well spotted there, Sean. We've got a car the wrong way.
That's one of the Fast and Furious.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Mark Martins finds himself the wrong way. There was an early accident as well, but let them get out and moving on as the two QRT cars have gone full Haas by the look of it. Into turn number 1, although this is a 3-wide situation with a lot of cars. Oh, the Fast and Furious car coming in late. Beautifully done, right round the outside for the QRT BMW, but then takes a bit of contact from the Ferrari and ends up just clipping that wall. Another little incident here as well. This one involving Byron Thompson. So he was just behind there as well, so I think there was a whole lot of concertina effect. Oh, there was a contact between the Mercedes and the BMW there. And again, yep, so and the Ferrari ended up the wrong way. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, Sean, there's been worse accidents on the opening few corners of the Nordschleife.
Yes, indeed. I mean, I was going to say not like that because, yeah, we've got 186 corners to go through one single lap, and on the first turn already was a bit of a car park. But yes, you are right, John. It could have been a lot worse, and certainly a race that I kind of remember from last season. If you remember, John, Watkins Glen, after the first turn up the hill, there was an almighty car park and bits of bodywork all over the track. So it could have been like that. Fortunate for the drivers, just a little spin, maybe the tiniest bit of contact. It's not going to completely ruin their race, but obviously losing a fair few positions. But a relatively clean start on lap 1 though, John.
Yep, good start by the drivers. We've seen Nathan Henderson come up and take second place. Andre Thierry, not to be put off by the ARM drivers around him, he's made up 2 places. Vavasori down 2 places, but he is still in the top 10 for how much longer? That is Tom Wegman, Callum Scotland hunting him down, so we're really going to see what his race pace is like. You'll see Tom Wegman put it on the apex, up the inside. That is an absolute stunner of a move through turn 17. Gets it on the exit, and I tell you, Callum Scotland will certainly be excited to join in on that action as well. Jerome Jongen losing the place to Pascal Walker, so he is definitely exuding is not the word I'm looking for, but it's close to that. Oh, and we've got a forced the wrong way. Does manage to right itself. Oh, after clicking at the wall, and Pascal Walker has taken a bit of damage there. It's almost cursed for the commentator there for the wild card entry. He finds himself with Jerome, unlikely to take too long to get this overtake done. Jongen hunting him down. Andrew Horman just back there as well. So it's Bornage still in second place with Vavasori. Was just seen the overtake from Tom Wegman. Absolutely no shame getting overtaken by Tom. He is incredibly quick and was a main podium protagonist for the vast majority of last season, and I do expect this season to be very much the same. The Nordschleife perhaps not his track in qualifying, but he's getting it done in race trim at the moment, and so too Callum Scotland. He finds himself side by side with fellow Ferrari driving Vavasori. Oh, and I tell you, there's Tom Wegman getting an overtake done again already. Oh, Van der Hoek in the wall. Oh, that's Van der Hoek into the wall just as he was being overtaken. He's going to lose 6 places there. Sorry, 5 places, so not too bad. Oh no, here comes 6. Yeah, no, I was right first time. Down 6, Fox Soberg down 1 as well. Good start right through the field. Here comes more overtaking action as we see Scott Ticehurst. Again, Sean, proving why Ticehurst is one of the quickest and most consistent drivers out there. He started from the pits. He's already made up 17 places, and if we look at it, he could well have been caught right in the middle of that incident just on the way out the Mercedes arena, given the times that we're likely to see from him. So Race IQ 200 once again from Ticehurst, up 17 spots in less than a third of the Nordschleife. That is Max Verstappen-esque.
Yeah, it takes some doing for sure, John. Perhaps the entrance to the Mercedes arena could have helped him out, but certainly Ticehurst has the know-how just to perfectly position his car in the right spots, perhaps using his experience in the QRT just to kind of know when to make the passes and when to hold back, and certainly has made it work. 17 positions, did you say, John?
Yep, 17 so far, and I think there's likely to be another one pretty soon. It's Byron Thompson and Borwick ahead of him. Borwick switching to the BMW this season. And as well, actually, I meant to give a shout out to Alex Perry. I saw someone in the chat mentioning the old cars feel really good with the bop that's been applied. We've got a Nissan GT3. I've been told you have to say that with an Australian accent if you're going to say Nissan GT3. But yeah, we've got a Nissan involved as well, running just outside the top. Oh, and that's Borwick. Oh, that's Borwick, Sean. And we were talking about this. Talk us through any action if you see it. But we were talking about just how easy it is and how cruel a mistress the Nordschleife can be. Tight, twisty country roads. One minor mistake like that, and you find yourself in the wall and losing quite a few positions.
Yeah, that car is really, really struggling. The car behind, who is that? Denard. Oh, got very, very lucky there.
32 places from 4th to 36th. Oh, the Fast and the Furious cars and Martins.
It is all happening right now. Yes, I was about to say, John, like the curves at the Nürburgring 24-hour layout is absolutely brutal. You really want to try and stay away from the majority of the curves, because as you saw there, it can really chew you up and spit you out. And it's there's, as I say, John, there's all types of challenges for the drivers. 1 hour here as well. We're only 9 minutes into the race as well, John. So all types of disasters could happen, but I don't want to mention it, John, because I've been privy of many a commentator's curse.
Indeed, yeah, that is the last thing we want to do, especially on a course like this. The driver's got it all to do. A couple of them coming into the pits, going for lap 1 pit stops. Of course, there is a mandatory pit stop to take, so the drivers will all be coming in at some point in time. Nathan Henderson with the fastest opening lap, a little bit of slipstream from Damien Konzig. He has a partner up front. We've seen him a few times last season chasing down the driver ahead. He is very comfortable being the hunter or the hunted, and at the moment he is being hunted down by the Bentley. And as Harry is saying in the chat, R8 versus the Bentley, it's a cruise ship versus a fishing vessel at the moment. Both of them commercial sized boats, that is for absolutely sure. And if we're going to see an overtake here, it's going to have to be a very, very, very good one, which both of these drivers more than capable of doing. It is the two of them leading the way at the moment. I know Zeus finds himself in third. It did slip under my radar. I was just waiting until it got settled down a bit, but Thiago Denart did get caught up pretty hugely at the start of the race. Finds himself down in 30th position, and I think, yes, going to have a quick look at a replay here. This was when he was down about 15 spots. So there's been a couple of instances where you can see absolutely solid train of cars ahead of him. He's got Luca Monroe 2 cars ahead.
Oh yeah. I have to say, John, it is a very daring move from Denart there. Certainly you need to get the cooperation of the driver in front, because going too wide is a scary thing on this circuit, and yeah, unfortunately collides with the car in front, and that is one of the hazards at this particular circuit, John.
Yeah, it really is. This Scott Tyser's making up another spot as we see another incident just down the field. Oh, drive-through for speeding in the pit lane. That's not the way you want a lap 1 pit stop to go. Harry, don't work too hard. Hopefully your shift flies in. Tice Payne not racing, he's just in to keep an eye on proceedings. And Revan Kevin, good evening, welcome in. Yeah, the engines are definitely revving tonight. We've seen in qualifying 41 cars cover 16 miles of track, and 2 of them set exactly the same time for pole position. There was probably a few other cars down the field that set exactly the same time as one another, but certainly the pole sitters being separated by 0. Yeah, it took us all a bit by surprise and has left us in absolute slack-jawed awe. Vavasori making his debut. I do predict a quick move up to the pros for Vavasori. I'm assuming it would be his sim grid rating that got him into the arms. His pace at the Nordschleife is going to get him at least into the silvers. I would say next week. He's got Tom Wegman just gone past him. Tom with a good solid start to the race. He's made up 6 places, so yeah, qualifying didn't go his way, but the race most definitely is. Jerome Jongen does have Kibizinski ahead of him by only 0.4 of a second, and Callum Scotland's actually lost a couple of places as well. So I think he's had a bit of a bump. It only takes the minorest off track when you've got 41 cars on the opening lap, and it's as long as this. These things can easily, even the slightest of mistakes can see you tumbling down the field. The top 2 very much still as you were. I'm looking to see the drive-throughs for Grazik, so I have quite a few of the silvers coming into the pits and getting those mandatory requirements done and dusted. Oh, look at Monroe. Oh, Monroe in the wall, trying to straighten up that Lamborghini. 14-degree track temperature as well, Sean, so getting those tyres up to temperature, a lot of twists and turns, but if you're in the slipstream and surrounded by other cars, it does elongate that process ever so slightly, and a couple of the drivers finding out the hard way that PSI all important.
Indeed, John. Yeah, to be on something I didn't even consider was the track temperatures. Being so much action through this the first 14 minutes of this race, that yeah, even though it's saying that it's optimal conditions for the drivers, I kind of feel like it's pretty cold, especially around this very, very scary green hell for the drivers. I was going to ask you, John, I know we've got a bit of race action to deal with here with Matcham just behind Basteri, but I was going to ask, in terms of the straight line top speed, we have got a question in chat, who will be the fastest. The Lexus, is that?
Should be the Lexus. Yeah, the Lexus is an absolute monster in a straight line. It's almost like it's a different league. Basteri down.
I didn't want to get the commentator curse out there, which is why I kind of deflected the conversation there. But yeah, Basteri with a bit of a moment and couldn't save the car into the barrier. That is going to give him severe damage and a long way into the pitch, John.
It is, yeah. That's dropped him quite a few places. Cars still filing past. We're still on board with Matcham. But yeah, as far as I'm aware, it should be the Lexus that is the quickest car in a straight line. The Bentley could come close to giving it a run for his money. It certainly will be the Porsche or the Ferrari. The Aston definitely in the hunt as well, but based on previous knowledge of the Lexus, it is very, 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 very quick in a straight line. In fact, you know what? I can work some of my magic and get some data on that. He says confidently. I will. Oh, in fact. Yes, so I will be able to keep you up to date with the kilometres per hour on the Dottinger Straight. So let's see. There is Konzig 276, 277. Okay, so he's topped out with 277, is now starting to lose speed. We've got the Bentley 272. So yeah, just that little bit slower. Now where is the Lexus? Thierry in fourth.
Yep.
285, 286, 287, 288, 289, 290.
Wow.
He's just topped out. No competition, Sean. 13 kilometres an hour quicker.
Wow, that is some difference there. So, yeah, it does look like Thierry is starting to make that work for him. Yeah, I do feel sorry for the Ferraris out there, because it's well documented that even though it's a very good cornering car, not the fastest down the straight, John.
Yeah, no, second place down the straight, the Nissan 285.
Wow, okay.
Yep, so the Nissan up in the 280s, and I'm going to jump on board with Matcham and hopefully catch him. Oh, he's just come off the straight. Tell me we've got another Aston Martin coming down the straight. Not that I can see. No, we don't. We'll see what Tenerife do. Oh, is that
John
Monroe? Yes.
John, we've got some a revelation. We've got Scottish in chat. He's just saying that he's got beached on the curb. Are you kidding me? You can see he's in the pits and sinking down the grid. So I don't know if he's out of the race or he's just repairing that damage. But it looks like he had a big moment, John.
Yeah, it looks like he did. Yeah. Yellow flag. Yellow flag. Yeah, a couple of incidents for him. We'll see what the most recent one was. Just behind the QRT car. Oh, that's... Oh yeah, the curb's not kind. That's left him facing the wrong way. Oh yeah, and he's got stuck on the curb there before he could get free. So yeah, not the best start to the race for Scotland. Scrolling back up furiously with so many cars out on track. But Damien Konzig doing Damien Konzig things, Sean. He's now 1.3 seconds ahead. Henderson was bringing a good fight, but Konzig, he's not in the mood for sharing that top spot. He is he's going for glory. 1.3 seconds and the fastest lap of the race so far. He's he's doing champion things already.
Yes, he is, and you got to consider as well, he's in the new car as well, John. Last season he was in his trusty McLaren. He's switched over to Audi, and it's like as if he's been driving that Audi for years, really making it work for him. And shouldn't be surprised, of course, John. We know how quick Konzig is, but yeah, certainly is the fastest man on circuit and leading the race as well. As we're on board with Mark Gibson, who is one of the wild cards for this season in that Ford Mustang. I actually thought the Mustang would be topping the charts for the top straight line speed, but I've been proved wrong. So but certainly should be reasonably strong, I think. But he's trying to catch up with Vavasori, who has I can't remember the word, John. He has he stopped. What's happened there, John?
That is a very good question. He was absolutely keeping pace with Tom Wegman. I mean, an incredible qualifying for the unregistered driver. again, these splits are made up. Harry does a phenomenal job of matching the splits. Occasionally you do get the odd driver that sneaks, ends up in what could be considered the incorrect split given on their sim grid rate. Certainly Vavasori. But yeah, he was keeping pace with Tom Wegman. He was within half a second of Tom Wegman for a lap and a half there, and that's a lot of mileage around the Nordschleife. But he's just pulled over to the side there. I'm not sure if it's a technical issue or what's going on. But that has not only cost him places, it's cost him the lead in the arms. Jakub Kibizinski for JK Sim Racing in the Lamborghini inside the top 10, Sean. You'll love to see it. It's QRT doing QRT things. We've got a silver in the top 5, and we've got the 2 arms leading the arms in the top 10, and they're only separated by half a second. Let's go.
Yeah, absolute crazy. We shouldn't be surprised because it happens every season in the QRT. I was going to say about Vavasori that he's been very deceptive, I say, because we've been talking about how fast he is and how he definitely shouldn't be in the amateur category. So maybe he's heard this and thought, oh, I better slow down, maybe even stop on the track, so that it seems like that I am actually an amateur driver, but no one is fooling us, that is for sure, John.
Yeah, no, most definitely not. Tiago Denart, who's making his debut here at QRT. Difficult start to the race, to say the least. Got caught up in a bit of an incident, not of his own doing, more of a concertina effect. Wrong place, wrong time. It cost him an almighty 32 positions. He has made 18 of those back, and he's back up to 18th place, so only down a net 14 positions. The car ahead of him, Scott Ticehurst, who has made up 24 spots since starting in the pits. That's why Ticehurst is in the pros and likely to be heading towards a podium, I would say, because yeah, there is no slowing that man down at all. There's also no slowing down Vavasori, but I did see someone else coming to the pits, Paul Cook, yellow flag, but that's on his way out of the pits. Let's see. Vavasori and Kibazinski still battling away for the lead in the arms. Jerome Jongen, the driver, just behind them as well. We're on to, 2 laps have been completed. Yeah, those curves, it's so easy to beat a Ferrari. If you've got your car too low, these curves are higher than a Dutch tourist, and if you get on them the wrong way, you can easily find yourself beached. Again, I haven't spent much time at the Nordschleife, but that is certainly something I have experienced.
I mean, not just the Dutch tourists. I think just the Dutch in general. To be honest, John. But yeah, you're certainly right. These curves are absolutely brutal, and you really want to stay away from it. Apart from the curve they've just gone over now, that is probably the flattest part of the circuit there. But yeah, looking to try and make amends, to try to slingshot his way past Kibazinski, who is just in front of him right now as we look on board with the back spoiler there. Yeah, there's not really any opportunities to make passes on this section of the circuit. I could be proved wrong, of course, but it would take a very, very daring driver to make it work. And all of a sudden just dropping back again, John. So perhaps was trying to sort of pile the pressure on, and then just thought, you know what, maybe because we are getting very close to the Dottinger straight, maybe try to sort of set up a move and get that overspeed down the straight, perhaps, John.
Yeah, that was maybe the plan, but no plan survives first contact with the enemy, as a wise Chinese tactician once said, certainly far smarter than me. And all he's done is thrown himself to the wolves in the shape of Jongen and Horman. been going faster than he normally would be, given that there's a whole lot of slipstream, but he's going to find himself behind the BMW, because here comes Jongen, and the BMW making that look very easy, because as you said, Sean, the Ferrari in a straight line really just cannot get it done, and you put a BMW in the slipstream and the Beaver's going to win every time.
Yeah, indeed, and he's surprising how quickly he's caught to the back of the Lamborghini driver as well. As we look on board with Ticehurst, who is looking to make it 25 positions from the start of the grid, starting to close in on Perry, although, of course, as you mentioned, yeah, doesn't quite have the power to the GTR. I know that a lot of people complain about how bad the GTR is, but certainly one of its strengths is down the straights, and I suspect that is why that car has been picked.
Yeah, very quick. So 282 kilometers an hour. So up there in the 280s. So 3 or 4, 5 kilometers an hour quicker than most of the other cars out there, but certainly won't be much in the Lexus for that straight line speed. It might be quick in a straight line on it. Andre Thierry certainly leading the way in the silvers, but is losing a bit of time still to Arnaud Delazeus. Rough start for Arnaud, got caught off the line. Damien Konzig with an absolutely incredible start to the race. Took himself the lead. Delazeus finds himself down in second, third overall, second place, and that is a lot of cars coming into the pits. Wegman, Vavasori, Horman, all coming in. Perry is in the Nissan. Oliver Zubik hasn't been in yet. Mike van der Hoek, Cook, Flint, Walker, Loon, Grazing, Tenerio, Martins and Redeye all been in to the pits. So too Luca Monroe down in 38th. Payne not racing in the race. Callum Scotland stuck in the pits. So not the best start to the season for the pro driver. This will inevitably be his drop round, for which each driver does get one. There is Monroe through the main carousel, and he's got a fair bit of free track ahead of him. This could well work in his favour, because the Nordschleife certainly is a track. If you get your pit time correct, you can find yourself with a lot of clear track ahead of you. With that's Wegman out of the pits, and he's come back out in 10th place.
Okay.
That's not too bad a start. That's not too bad for Wegman there, coming back out in 10th. Got a few overtakes done, and he's kept himself ahead of Vavasori and Horman, who are still battling away, Sean.
Yeah, indeed, and I think just looking at the spread of the grid, I think once the drivers in front do take their pit stops, he could be making at least, and I say at least, about 5 positions, maybe 6.
Sorry, it's 24th. We've been thrown under the bus.
Oh, okay, we have.
Yeah.
Okay,
we have indeed. Yeah, he's back out.
We'll take that back.
Yeah, we will. We will take that back. Yeah, slightly further down the field. Sorry, both of my telemetry towers are taking a while to catch up. All these cars. Oh, he's been oh, he saved it.
He's so lucky. So
wow.
lucky. Most drivers would have spun it, would have binned it into a very, very heavy barrier, but fights to live another day, John.
Indeed he does, indeed he does. Damien Konzig, he is fighting to keep that lead still, and Nathan Henderson is fighting to take it from him. The Bentley and the Audi still leading the way, and Henderson has closed up a bit over the past couple of laps there. 808s. Yeah, so Henderson consistently in the 809s. There was an 811 from Konzig though, which has brought the two of them back together, and certainly it looks like Henderson is going to be challenging to get himself into the slipstream onto the Dottinger Straight. Still quite a ways to go before we get there, but that is the halfway mark reached and breached already. And just looking, oh wow, what Vavasori's ahead of Wegman. Byron Thompson's had a bit of an incident. Now let me just check and see. Yeah, Tom Wegman is behind Van der Hoek, Vavasori and Horman. Wow, so I think he's had a bit of an incident. Let's see if we can catch anything. No, nothing registered for car 67. Oh, and there's another yellow flag. That's Ed Sterling, the Turn 1 sim racing car. There's been a bit of battles with these beautiful liveried machines. The Mercedes and the BMW involved in overtaking action on Sterling. Finds himself with his bonnet massively separated. I would guesstimate he's going to come in at the end of this lap and get it fixed. Because Sean, if you want, you talk about you want to have as little damage as possible for a race. Obviously, some tracks you can just about get away with it, but the Nordschleife, get in, get it fixed, and get back out on track. You are not doing well here, carrying that much damage.
No, indeed. You know, we're talking, as I keep mentioning, because it's just unbelievable. 186 corners, nearly 16 miles of tarmac per lap. So, depending on where you've picked up your damage, you really, really want to.
He's got the lead.
Oh, okay.
And we're going to see a replay of Damien Konzig having an incident. Now, it's not often that happens.
No.
Let's have a look and see what is going on here. He was trees. That's not what we need. Oh, and he's just run wide. He's clipped the wall. He's trying to retake the defensive line, but that's going to have caused him a bit of damage. And it is Nathan Henderson who's hung behind him. He's done his due diligence. It does look like he's crabbing slightly. Nathan is in a completely different hemisphere on the other side of the planet from most of the drivers taking part, so a little bit of netcode, but certainly Damien Konzig, it's turned from a dream start, Sean, into a nightmare. I mean, he was likely to have been coming in on this lap for his pit stop anyway, but he's not only lost the overall lead of the race. Arnaud Della Zeus is now only 2 seconds behind him, and that gap is getting smaller and smaller with every apex.
Yeah, indeed, and this is where the green hell really does come to bite you, because as I say, if you just lose that slightest bit of concentration, it really does punish you here. And because not only is the track very narrow, not only do we have them really chunky curbs, but also you've got the grass on the outside as well, which is definitely not good for the tyres. And yeah, unfortunately, that one little mistake has really cost Konzig, as you mentioned, John. Della Zeus starting to close that gap on Konzig right now. I do believe it is down to below a second. Luckily for Konzig, though, is coming up to the pit lane, so I would imagine he would box on this lap, and indeed he does, John.
It didn't take too much deductive reasoning. In fact, Henderson's come in as well. Arnaud Della Zeus fancies a lap in the lead, so he has stayed out. And Fabien Goldie for Rapid Racing, he's coming as well, so another pro driver coming in. Here comes the Lexus as well. Thierry comes in from the lead of the Silvers. We'll see what the ARM drivers decide to do. Wyszynski does have Jongen ahead of him. We are well beyond the halfway mark. The track temperature has gone up by a degree as well. Oh, and he's almost clipped that wall on the way in, and he was either very, very quick, or the car ahead, Jerome Jongen, very slow. Schoberg comes into the pits as well. Nathan Henderson has been in, and he is on his way back out. Damien Konzig might need to get a little bit of damage repaired, but he is still stationary as Rainier Athenstad moves up into overall third at the moment. There is Schoberg, there is Nathan Henderson on his way out, and Damien Konzig is... Oh, okay, that's more damage than I thought. That's completely separated his bonnet, his hood from the rest of the car, and he is still stationary, so that's it's a fair bit of damage. He must be getting repaired there, so Henderson is going to have a fairly clear rear view mirror for the second half of the race. Della Zeus hoping to get the overcut if he can. He's going to need a very quick lap to do so. He has been consistently in the 8 minutes 11 as opposed to Henderson, who's been in the 8:09s. And certainly Konzig has exited the pits again, so he has got the damage repaired. But that is a fair bit of damage. I think De La Zeus could be looking good to take the lead in the pros here if he can keep this between the Mayo and the Mustard and get himself into the pits and out again nice and safely, Sean. Oh.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, just commiserations really for Konzik there, because you know, he was having a very, very solid race, but yeah, as I said, with the green hell, it only takes that one mistake and certainly can throw a race or two. And yeah, stop and go penalty for Schoberg, John, and Papai and Ticehurst. That is that's very rare to see. 3 cars in on the same lap getting that stop and go penalty. In fact, we got a 4th car, John.
Wow, Byron Thompson picking up a stop go 32nd as well. Wow, yeah, absolutely flabbergasted. We've seen 2 cars set exactly the same time in qualifying to take pole position, and we've seen 4 cars on lap 4 take a stop go 30-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. The ramifications for the final positions are absolutely huge. Ticehurst even now is 25 positions up on where he started, but he's going to lose a few of them when he comes back into the pit. Schoberg though was having a solid race as well. Let me jump on board. Where is he? It's saying 7, but I don't think he is. There he is there. Yeah, so picking up the stop go 32nd as well for the Porsche driver. He is down a few places at the moment, and he is going to be losing quite a few more after that. Still a few drivers ahead to take their pit stop, but that will not be of any help to Schoberg with that stop go 32nd. We've still got Ed Stirling down at the back of the field to take his pits. Unfortunately, Monroe back into the pits after taking his mandatory pit stop. It looks like he's going to retire there along with Denart Scotland. Tice Payne in on the stewarding capacity this evening, so not racing, but Monroe, Denart and Scotland, 3 retirements of 4. There's another driver that is disconnected as well. But that is still a pretty impressive turnaround there as Madchip picked up some damage on the in lap. Nothing worse. Managing to get yourself 26 minutes into a 1-hour race at the Nordschleife and picking up damage on the way into the pits. Will be absolutely kicking himself. Vavasori, who's had an incredible start to the race, finds himself, Sean, again ahead of Kibazinski. He's in the lead, but now he's got the 2 QRT BMWs just ahead of him, and this could be a fun little battle between these 3.
Yeah, indeed, yeah. Vavasori, he has shown immense pace, but a couple of times I've seen him just back off, which is really strange. I do wonder whether or not his equipment is just failing him through this race, but yeah, certainly it does definitely show that he's got pedigree, and yeah, he's looking to fight his way through. We're on board with Jongen at the moment, currently P10 overall. He is 6th in the pro category right now. As we mentioned, Vavasori all over the back of Jongen at the moment. We do expect the Ferrari to be very strong through this technical part of the Nordschleife, but it is when we get to the straight that Jongen could have that sigh of relief, as he probably should start collecting some of that slipstream to the car in front, which is of course Horman. So we will see. Oh god, that was close, John. That was very close. Did ride the curb there, but any wider could have been a catastrophe. But now we'll see the pulling strength. Of course, both BMWs. But look at that, though. It's looking like if he's afforded the space, that he could try to make a move before we get into the fast left-hand turn at the top of the hill. But you can see the Ferrari nowhere for Vavasori to go. Doesn't go for the move for the time being. Does back off, and I mean, it's very difficult to pass around here at the best of times, John, which means that whenever you're given an opportunity, you really have to take it with both hands. But nothing's going to happen through the carousel unless there is a mistake from any driver, or you want to stay on the inside curb there, and nearly lost out to Jongen there. But again, nowhere for him to go currently, John. But yeah, certainly very, very close right now, John. And let's see if Horman can withstand the pressure.
Indeed, yeah, as you say, not many places to get the overtake done. Vavasori definitely showing good pace. He's getting right up under that rear bumper, and as Sean mentioned, he's to back right out of it because there's just no place to get the overtake done. Oh, and that's a big run wide there by Jongen. Applying the pressure to his teammate. He's having the pressure applied by the Ferrari behind the two BMWs. Should be good in a straight line to break away and leave the Ferrari behind. Oh, and the back end of the Ferrari stepping out there really all over that low curve of the asphalt turf. Almost kicking the back end a bit far out. Oh, Christophe Papai has picked up a stop go 32nd. That is a fifth driver with a stop go 32nd for speeding in the pit lane. I'm beginning to think the driver spent a lot of time practicing the laps and not much time practicing the pit entrance, because for 5 drivers to get the same penalty is, yeah, you'd have to, yeah, especially for speeding in the pit lane. Certainly places like Valencia, Misano, you can see a lot of drive-throughs for track limits, but to see 5 drivers get a stop go 32nd penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Oh, that Ferrari. Oh, Vavasori needs to get himself a yellow livery that says Fast and the Furious, because he is wringing the neck out of that thing to keep up with the BMW, Sean. And it's all pretty much going to be in vain now that we're on the Dottinger Straight, because the BMWs go bye-bye.
Yeah, well, I think that is the reason he was really pushing the limits there, just to try and stay on the back of the BMW. But they're going to be working in tandem now as we go down, up the hill of the Dottinger Straight. And yeah, you can see that Vavasori hasn't got hope in hell. He's must be absolutely frustrated that you know, after all that hard work, he's just absolutely nothing he can do down this flat out section, but he will close in through the corner. But then there's another straight, so oh, he just grazes the barrier on the right hand side. That is not going to help his cause though, John.
Yeah, no, it really is, and you definitely need to be keeping it out of the walls. Full commitment though, Vavasori, absolutely going for it. So too the two BMWs ahead. Oh, they're going to go side by side. They're going to cost themselves time. Vavasori will be more than delighted to see this happening. And he's gone for the switchback. And it is Jongen that's got his nose ahead of teammate Horman. So they've swapped positions. If anything, if they're working together, I definitely would have done that on the Dottinger Straight and used that extra bit of slipstream. But not to be. And Vavasori is primely positioned to get himself a couple of positions here if the two QRT BMWs don't play nice with one another. It was a very good overtake by Jongen. Oh, look how close Vavasori is getting. Beautifully highlighting the difference between the cars. In a straight line, it's all day the BMW, all day, all night, and twice on a Sunday. But through the twisty stuff, the all-round agility of the Ferrari definitely coming to the fore. We've got Daryl in the chat. Good evening. Something did happen to Damien. Yes, he had a little off-track excursion, clipped the wall and picked up a fair old bit of damage. His bonnet was flapping in the wind. and he spent quite some time in the pits getting repairs done. Yes, really 67 seconds in total he was in the pit lane. The rest of the cars, you're talking about 30 odd seconds. Yeah, even Tom Wegman, yeah, he's just been back in for a stop go 32nd, and he was in for less time. So yeah, Konzik has effectively served more than a stop go 30-second penalty during his pit stop compared to the rest of the field, and he is yeah, down to quite a few. 8th place he is overall. And Arnaud Delazus though, Sean, he, after getting caught up at the start, he stayed committed, he stayed, most importantly, nice and clean. He's back out of the pits and he is leading in the pros. That is not a bad debut for last year's silver driver.
Yeah, not bad at all. And a commanding lead over his nearest rival, that is Athens Steed as well, currently in P2. So he can kind of... oh, hold on a minute. They've just swapped over, have they, John? Has something happened, or is that just a bit of a delay in the update to the leaderboards?
Yeah, a bit of a delay in the update to the leaderboards. Fabian Goldie is in third. He is carrying a lot of damage. The Rapid Racing driver. Now, I'm not sure if that is actually down. He did get that damage just on the way into the pits. Oh, Delazus has binned it.
Wow.
Delazus has put the car firmly into the wall. Oh, let's have a look at this.
I think I'm just going to shut up, John.
Yeah, that's it. Sean banned. The drivers will be starting a petition. Oh, so innocuous, Sean. That is the ones that you absolutely hate. It's just that minor interaction with the curb, and it's given them the perfect amount of rotation to put them face first into the wall. And that is a beautiful livery, but that bonnet is flapping in the wind, and that is not, as we know as drivers, Sean, it's not aerodynamically sound, and as they say in Spain, no bueno, senor.
Yeah, indeed, John. It's one of them, isn't it? Like you know, it feels pretty good going into the turn. You get that extra bit of rotation, and then there's an incident there. Spins out the car there. That's I think the stewards will be looking at that from Vavasori on Horman, as you said, John. Yeah, it looked innocuous there, where he just kind of tapped the rear side panel of the car in front, spun him around, and carries on with his race as well. So it is easily done, but it as we look on the replay now, oh yeah, that slight little bump, that's all it takes, and he's lost a couple of positions and perhaps a little bit of damage as well, because I did see him hit that barrier, John.
He did indeed hit the barrier, yeah, so the BMW is going to be slightly unsettled. 2 QRT cars involved in incident in a matter of minutes, and it is Horman who is now carrying that damage. Delazus, is he about to lose his first race win? That would be quite the debut, but Andre Thierry, another driver promoted from the silver, Sean, and oh no, sorry, he is in the silver, so in fact, yeah, wow, silver driver could win. Yeah, wild card to silver, sorry, yeah, I knew there was a progression there. You did say yourself you were surprised he's not in the pros. He might win the opening race here. He's going to the pros next round. Yes, indeed. Yeah, I'm sure that if you're saying it, then I'm pretty sure Harry does agree. There's certainly probably a fair amount of cars I think will be chopping and changing through the categories, that is for sure. But yeah, so far, yeah, Thierry looking really good, as you said, John, and with Delazus with a fair amount of damage to his car, it's going to be interesting to see what he does when he gets to the end of the lap. Does he stay out and
and carry on, soldier on for the remaining lap, or does he get that repaired? There's 99 questions, I think. We'll see what happens to De La Zeus in due course, but someone that I've noticed is starting to climb up the grid, John, is Konzik, and we do know how fast Konzik is once he has a perfect car and a clear bit of track in front of him, and it does look like he's trying to close that gap to Goldie.
Goldie's
we've got
damage.
Oh, sorry, yep, Goldie's got damage. Oh, wow, okay. So another one with damage, another one that's come a bit of a cropper to the green hell then, and certainly then Konzik looking good, perhaps for a podium.
The live gap between those two cars is actually only 5 seconds. Okay. That timing tower on the side. Harry and I will be in talks next week. We are going to revamp the layout of the stream. We'll see what everyone thinks and if we're going to stick to it, but it should be good. Fabian Goldie, De La Zeus. Oh wow, yeah. Oh, and tell you what, he's not lost that much top end speed actually. He's still managed to get to 279 down that dip. So that's not too bad in the grand scheme of things. Fabian Goldie, he really is struggling in a straight line. He is topping out with 271. He's going to roll down the hill, which will give him an extra couple of kph, 277 down the hill, whereas Damien Konzik has just gone past 280. Oh, that engine done. We don't use chase cam a lot because it is a bit cheesy, but
needs to be done sometimes.
Oh, that engine.
It's beautiful, isn't it, John?
It's a thing of you. It's a thing of you.
It really is. And also as well, just coming across the line now, so we've got 9 minutes left, John. So that will be 2 laps, I do believe.
Yes, indeed, it will be 2 laps. So yeah, De La Zeus playing the ultimate gamble. He, as I say, he hasn't lost too much top end speed. Could still lose to the silver driver Thierry. And Nathan Henderson as well, he was involved. He was following diligently following Damien Konzik at the start of the race. The Bentley absolutely nailing its way through the very tight and twisty track. It might be the Boatley, but Nathan Henderson has got it moving absolutely beautifully at the moment through the German countryside. 16 seconds of a gap. He is consistently hitting some very quick laps down in the 809s. It is of course Konzik in the 208s that's got the fastest race lap so far. Henderson may well still have something to say about that, but I'm sure he will be more than happy just to bring home the race win. The extra point for the fastest lap is just an extra bit of sprinkling, but yeah, it's not one that Henderson necessarily is going to go out of his way to get. I do love the front right wheel camera on this as well. You see the actual wheel inside the chassis of the car. Not so much aerodynamic thought goes into these things, but yeah, Henderson in the Bentley having an absolute cracking race at the moment. Where has the Nissan gone? There he is, Perry. Whoa, Jules Flint for double yellow, just having himself an off-track moment. Grezik just going past Basteri as well. Christoph Papayan to serve his penalty. Thompson, Wessels and Ticehurst all with those penalties still to serve. It's the Nissan that I'm looking for. Perry, for some reason, is shown in a slightly different position.
Okay.
So there we go, for all the Nissan fans out there. Does sound a bit like a Hoover in my opinion, but it does move pretty quick in a straight line. No, that's the one that we want. What is he getting when he rolls down this bit of hill? Yeah, 285, so close to the pace of the Lexus, but there is, as Sinead O'Connor would say, nothing compares to that Lexus in a straight line. Oh, is so good at keeping it out of the wall. It's been quite the race, Sean. We're on. We've got a lap still to go because of the timing, but 2 drivers setting the same time to take pole position. 6 drivers with stop go 30 seconds for speeding in the pit lane. It's not the story I thought we would be telling. I mean, I knew we were going to get some close racing action, but those are 2 talking points I did not think would be on the horizon, especially the latter of the two. All those stop go 30s, pit lane violations, not even track limits. That's, yeah, it's a bit of a mistake the drivers have made, and it's costly ones for everyone that's made them.
I mean, to be honest, it doesn't really surprise me too much, because I do know, you know, the Green Hell rearing its ugly head at the best of times. You know, luckily for the drivers, it's not even raining, because it does tend to rain a lot here in Germany. But yeah, certainly there's been a huge mix of drivers that we didn't expect to see up there. I never... well, very rarely, should I say, John, that we see a wild card, pro and silver occupying the podium positions there, but yeah, certainly the amateurs mixing it up with the pros ahead of a lot of the silver drivers, but yeah, certainly there is been some accidents, as we just see car number 271, that is Vavasori, who was singing his praises. It looks like he's had a bad accident as we look on the replay, John.
Yes, indeed. He's going to have to go for the full Austin Powers there to get the car straightened up. Hopefully, we'll get a cam. Oh, the curb. And the car goes sideways, and oh, so annoying. Again, just enough rotation to be massively detrimental. And Vivasori, oh, he's struggling to keep it on the track now. So he's damaged the front part, like the front left wheel. Oh, now he's got a huge bit of separation. Kibazinski is going to be hunting him down. And in fact, I think Kibazinski is a fair bit ahead. He is.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, and we've just got notification that the leader is on the final lap. Now, I'm not sure if Henderson crossing the line now. Oh, yeah, no, there's 3 minutes left. Yeah, so it is going to be the last lap. It will be the last lap. 7 laps in 60 minutes with a pit stop. That's some going. And he's increasing that lead on De La Zeus, who is fending off. Oh, no, never mind, because how much fending off we're going to see here. Oh, we've got another stationary car. That's one of the cars further down the field. But here we go, Sean. He's looking to get himself second in the pros. Damien, returning champion, in fact, double champion. Konzig finds himself behind Rapid Racing's Fabian Goldie with the damage, and as tight and twisty and difficult an overtaking track it is, I'm not betting against Konzig taking the second place here.
No, he really now, through this sort of section, I don't think he's going to do anything silly and go for a move, although, you know, stranger things do happen. But certainly what he will be trying to do is just to try and keep it consistent on the black stuff, put some pressure on Goldie, who is already struggling with the car. I'm pretty sure that car is horrible to drive through this section. And then as we approach one of the straights, which will probably most likely be the Dottinger straight, should be able to make the pass very easily and bring home that second position in the pros, John.
Yeah, he is certainly looking very quick, and yeah, as you say, the Dottinger straight, it's going to be yeah, a completely different sport. Never mind in the same ballpark, it's not even going to be the same sport. That Audi will destroy the Ferrari in a straight line on a good day, and it's unfortunately a bad day for Fabian Goldie. Well, say it's a bad day, he's still going to get himself a podium in the pros. It's just not likely to be the podium position that he was hoping for. That damage is definitely going to be his undoing as we get on to the start of the straight. It's Nathan Henderson in the QRT Bentley, rounds the last few corners. There's 1 minute 40 to go. He's not getting the checkered flag, so we have been lied to. It is going to be another lap for Henderson, so I don't know why the end game was notifying us that was there. Scott Ticehurst down at the back of the field, one of the drivers with the stop go 30-second penalty. At one point, he'd made up 25 places. Max who? This is Scott Ticehurst we're talking about. Oh, and there we go. The slipstream Konzig up to over 280 kilometres an hour. Goldie only just hitting 275. The slipstream, the grunt, and the lack of damage. Seeing Konzig well, he's got one lap to keep it together. Oh, Matcham in the pits. Thompson and Wessel still got a stop go 32nd to serve. That's an interesting strategy. You do get 3 laps to serve the penalty, and given the length of the laps here, that's 25 minutes.
Yeah.
So they are. I mean, yeah. But so do you come in and take the penalty, or do you just take a time penalty at the end of the race? Which is more detrimental?
I mean, yeah. I mean, some strategy will come into play. I mean, I do believe if you know, if you're stuck in traffic and you feel like you're getting held up, then maybe you take the penalty early. If you've got a nice bit of clear track, perhaps it's an opportunity to try to push on and serve out the latest opportunity possible. Maybe, John.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, that could be the plan. Well, certainly, yeah. It's a lenient 3 laps that you get around here. And yeah, those two still with the penalties to serve. Christophe Papayano served his. He's outside the top 25 at the minute. Hazio Horman fending, in fact, getting the overtake done on Kibazinski. Not too much defence put up by Kibazinski. He's still going to finish in the top 10 and on the top spot in the AMS. Almost has a bit of a moment there on the exit to the hairpin as we head up towards the Schumacher S. But he has got the lead, so he won't be looking to do anything crazy. Bornage is looking good in second. We saw his Porsche a bit sideways earlier on, but he has recovered and is running well. Pascal Walker looking to bring home a podium in his debut race as well. 3 debutants on the podium in the AMS, and one of them in the top 10. Silver promotion is on its way. Bell into the pits for Matcham. Thompson does come in to serve that stop go 30-second penalty. We've still got 34 cars out and running, and Stirling is still to take his mandatory pit stop. Christophe Papai hasn't taken his stop go 30-second. He did have another incident. My apologies, I got that one wrong. So he does still have to come in and serve that penalty as well. So it's yeah, it's going to be a while before we know what the final results are between penalties, pit stops, and all others. And Ticehurst is actually coming to the pits. He's serving his penalty at the moment. Oh, and that is a big bounce there.
Yeah, big off ski there. Did well though to navigate the bumps across the grass and not collect himself into a barrier. So fair play, you know, making a mistake, but you know, more sort of damage limitations more than anything. So how does that work then, John? If you don't take your pit stop,
well, you get a massive time penalty based on the length of the lap.
Right, okay.
So yeah, oh, that was a mistake. It is Jerome Jongen. He's been overtaken by Hazio Horman. These two have swapped places already, and that is a difficult one there for Horman to deal. Van der Hoek and Athenstad not too far down the road. Yeah, 13 and 8 seconds. That is yeah. Any other track you're on the final lap, 13 seconds is not really much of a problem. Well, this is the Nordschleife, and we've got 2/3 of the track to go. And yeah, Jerome Jongen has got a lot of damage now. And he's got Kibazinski, who was more than polite letting the pro driver through, knowing he's got the AM win all wrapped up, but it's unlikely to be Jongen and then Kibazinski crossing the line in that order. If I was a betting man, I'd be putting money, folding money on Kibazinski getting the overtake done. The damage to BMW will be no match for a fresh Lamborghini, and not far behind Van der Hoek. Has made up a second and a half. Athenstad as well has made up a second and a half. So that's some phenomenal running from the two of them, and it's going to be a grandstand finish, just like it was a grandstand start. And Nathan Henderson, though, Sean, He's not put a foot wrong. He was in Konzig's slipstream until Konzig made that mistake, and since then he has run a fairly flawless race. He's given himself a phenomenal lead, 18 seconds, still finding time over the pro field, and we are, much like last season, going to see a wildcard winning on the opening night.
Yeah, he's taken this track like a duck to water, basically. He's, as you said, not put a foot wrong. He's been absolutely perfect. I mean, to be honest, like in this sort of position, this is where he can really just try to relax, but perhaps his way of relaxing is taking these corners perfectly and pedal to the metal on the the ragged edge. But yeah, he's been absolutely phenomenal, and a pure joy to watch, basically, John. We haven't really seen too much of him because obviously there's been a lot of action, a lot of cars into the barriers and whatnot, that not giving really the credit that Henderson really deserves there. But he's been absolutely phenomenal, and it's looking like, and I'm saying it's looking like because I've cursed quite a number of drivers so far, John. It's looking like he's going to get the race win.
It is indeed, yes, and Kibazinski did get that overtake done just before the mini carousel, I believe that was. So that puts him up to 8th position. That is a phenomenal drive by the ARM driver, especially around this course in this field. We'll jump on board with the Bentley though, and we'll watch him bring home the race win. As Sean said, he's not had too much time on camera. In fact, I'm sure there is a way I can see just how much time he has spent. We'll see. Oh yeah, screen time, 8%. So yeah, less than 10% of the time he's been on camera. He's still extending that gap. Let's see just how quick the Bentley does go in a straight line. We do know it's quick. We've seen some very quick times by, very top speeds by the Lexus so far, as was expected. And yeah, the Bentley, look at that, tops out with 273 at this part of the track. Going uphill, it really does not like that. He is flashing the lights, the new QRT livery. What a debut that's made on QRT shores as well. There we go, 277 kilometres an hour. As he starts to slow down, jams on the brakes into the final couple of corners. And that factory pristine perfect Bentley will be the first car to see the checkered flag here at round 1 of the QRT's GT3 Season 5. Take a bow at Nathan Henderson, and extra kudos as well. Let's not forget it's only just gone 8 o'clock in the morning where Nathan is. So yeah, full commitment turning up at this time. And Arnaud Della Zeus, what a debut in the pros. Brings home the race win for the pro split, and again in the new QRT livery. Harry and the gang will be absolutely delighted. The team will be full celebration mode tonight, but so too will Andre Thierry in the silvers. Brings home an overall podium and the race win in the silvers in the Lexus. That top end speed doing serving Thierry well. Damien Konzig straight back to the pits, fastest lap in second place, and Fabian Goldie, despite the damage, rounding out the podium for the pros. And in the Sean, it's going to be Jakub Kibazinski. I mean, that was one group of cars, we had no idea what was going on. Vivasaro binning at the end, but Kibazinski, what a race win, and a top 10 for the ARM driver. That's quite the showing.
That is quite the showing, yeah. Kibazinski just keeping it nice and consistent, trying to stay out of trouble, not really fight too many people, and yeah, he's got to be absolutely delighted with the debut race that he's had, bringing home the victory in the amateurs. Another one that's going to be absolutely delighted is going to be Bjorn Haag, who is P12 overall, which is certainly no easy feat, and he's going to bring home a podium P2 for him, John.
Yeah, and he's going to finish ahead of P2 in the silvers. Paul Cook
Wow.
for PC Sim Racing, second in the silvers, 13th overall, so it's still a phenomenal race and a podium in his debut here at QRT as well. Love to see the debuts, all these new drivers. Oh, the strength of field goes from strength to strength, not to use that word too much in the 1 sentence. Pascal Walker comes home as one of the wild cards, just ahead of Mike Wilson, another QRT driver, and another one on the podium. It will be third place in the silvers for Wilson. So hats off to Wilson and the QRT team. What a night it has been for them. Chris Bell in the silvers has got a stop go 32nd penalty. The next car on the podium will be Christian Tenerio. We've hardly seen the Intercontinental driver throughout the race, the Mercedes. Let's just get a quick listen to that engine on the start along this straight. Oh, in fact, the Mercedes, yeah, we'll never check that, but 280, that car gets up there. But Tenerio kept his head well under the radar. The consistency was key, and is going to bring himself a podium in the arms. Oh wow, it's only a 60-second penalty. Incredibly lenient. I thought it would have been 90 at least, but there we go. So yeah, stop with 30-second penalty, which would have taken 57 seconds, or the 60-second penalty. So there we go, Wessels and Bell, they will drop down the order. Still more cars crossing the line.
Do you think that's a bit of a bending of the rules there, John?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Suzuka, quick fun fact, I know we don't like to talk about Formula 1 too much, but they had to change the Suzuka layout because they figured out it was quicker to drive through the pits than it was to take the final chicane, because they had the pit entrance before the final chicane at one point. So you were quicker to go through the pits than you were to go through the actual chicane. So there we go. So yeah. For the sake of 3 seconds, keep the car out of the pit and avoid another penalty, I suppose. So yeah, not too bad the strategy at all. Where is the Nissan? Perry has crossed the line. Good to see these older cars making an appearance in the series. And Perry bringing home the Nissan. A couple of the drivers popping in and out of the server. We will get the full results in a moment. Let me just check and see. Yes, we do. What I'm going to do is grab the highlights. Excellent. And we'll have a quick look. Oh my goodness me, there needs to be a better way of doing this. Quick look at the confirmed results. Of course, 993 and 990 are wildcards. Kibazinski, Bornage and Walker on the podium. Sorry, no, Walker is a wild card as well. So it is Perry in the Nissan. He did finish on the podium. Nicely done.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, very nice. So those three on the podium there. And then, of course, Thierry with that phenomenal overall result in first, Cook in second, Wilson in third place. And in the pros, Arnaud Delazeus, freshly promoted and brings home a race win ahead of Goldie in second and Damien Konzig in third place. That, Sean, was quite the outing. A couple of drivers won't be massive fans of the Nordschleife after tonight's outing. It certainly hasn't waned my support. And coming up, we've got Imola next time out.
I mean, how can you hate the green hell? Come on. but yeah, no, I know it's definitely like a Marmite track. You either love it or hate it. And yeah, certainly a lot of surprises ahead of that race, that is for sure. But yeah, certainly there's going to be quite a few delighted drivers. And then it is back to business at Imola, where I'm expecting a very, very different race, John. And it's certainly one of my favourite circuits on the calendar. Really can't wait for that next week.
Yeah, that is going to be absolutely sensational. Thank you to everyone that's followed tonight. I guarantee you'll be back next week after that racing, especially when some of the quickest drivers in the field drop right down and finish the race in the pits. So yeah, we had Mr. Semele, who also gave us a follow as well, I believe. First time chat, good evening. Thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed. It's been absolutely incredible. Hendam, cheers for the race all. Nathan Henderson, congratulations. What a race, good sir. What a race. Tell the truth, did you think you were in with a shout of winning when you saw the two drivers ahead on the front row set exactly the same time? No one could have predicted what had happened, what was going to happen this evening. Sean and I were both very clear about that right at the start. But what a race it's been. We're going to leave you with the highlights. I'm going to go and fully rest my voice after that one. Another incredible start, and Sean, we can only but look forward to next week. Emil, as you say, entirely different track, entirely different car characteristics required, and another track though that really does bring out the best in the drivers, and we're sure for some incredible action.
Indeed, John. Yeah, it's certainly going to be hopefully a spectacular race, full of action, full of speed, and yes, we'll see if the usual suspects will be back to business as usual, or is this setting a tone for the rest of the season with so many surprises at the top of the grid, John?
Indeed, it is QRT. Expect the unexpected with a massive side helping of incredible racing. And yeah, we will see more next week. Nathan Henderson saying, yep, he knew he was in for a race. Knew he had a race in his hands. You certainly did. Congratulations again on the win. Congratulations to everyone that made it to the end of the race, and even more congratulations to those that made it on to the podium, and thank you to everyone in the chat, of course, as well. Mad Chip straight in with the subscription, taking part in the race as well. We had Scottish Cross Fox, Harry Stratos, Brogan Dyer was in the chat, Cross Fox Racing as well. Revan Kevin, Mr. Semele, thank you, one and all. Darrell Young was in as well. Inquiring after Damien. But that's all we've got for this evening. Well, from Sean and myself, we will leave you with the highlights, of which there are many, so do stay tuned. We'll be back on Sunday night with coverage of the Sunday series, and then back, Sean and I, with round number 2 from the QRT GT3 season number 5. Until then, it is a good night from Sean.
Good night, everyone.
And it's a good night from me. Stay safe, take it easy, and have a great rest of your night. Good night.